Hey, mamas and daddies. I recently was talking with someone, and a lot of times I get child rearing, child raising, discipline, routine questions. And so I think I'll make a series of videos on that. But the first thing I want to start with is my perspective, because my perspective on raising children will you'll see it throughout everything I have to say, so you should know where I'm coming from. So, firstly, I feel like children are meant to be a blessing. Um, I think that they're a calling. I think that they're a huge responsibility. But I also believe that we're called as parents, that as a mother, I am called to lead my children. I'm called to lead them into righteousness. I am blessed to be able to lead them every day into the best day they can have to the best of my ability. So, if I, anytime I have to punish a child or take away a privilege or discipline a child in any way, it is always my desire to restore them. It's never my desire to let my frustration out to them, be angry with them, make them feel, I don't know how I can make them feel. I mean, being punished or being disciplined, it doesn't feel good. So it's not going to feel good. But, I just wanted to express where I'm coming from. And that's where I'm coming from, that I am, oftentimes I'll say, as a mother, you have to be a wall. Your kids can't go through you, they can't go around you, they can't go over you. The buck stops right here. They have to do what I'm instructing them to do, whether it's really what they want to do or not. So, a lot of times, a lot of times, I think that I used to be this way, but I think a lot of times I talk with mothers who have a hard time between the line of um, being like a peaceable, godly, calm mama and kind of like losing our minds on our kids for their poor behavior. And so the perspective I have is this is that, you know, God created me, God created my children, and on the inside of me is a deep well of patience, love, kindness, goodness, all for my family. And so when my kids kind of push me to the edge, which that's what children do, there are no magic children who do not do this. They all, in one way, either subtly or just outright. Some do it kicking and screaming, some do it behind your back. Um, whenever, I have learned that I don't have to come to the end of my rope. So my perspective is that we can all do it. We can all parent without acting crazy. We can all parent in such a way that the ultimate term for it that I call it is seed parenting. And the goal of this type of parenting where you're planting the seed for what you want to see. The goal of that, I guess, is that you raise children that you would want to be friends with when they're adults. Compassionate, kind, giving, godly, fun, responsible children that grow up to be the kind of person you want to hang out with. So that's the perspective I'm coming from. I'm coming from the perspective of any parent can do it. It takes for different people. Some people are naturally like disciplined people. They're just they're disciplined. But for those of us who aren't, I would think I would be in a lot of levels in the aren't group. We have to discipline ourselves to say what we mean, to spend our time wisely, to follow through on what we say, to keep a routine, to do what needs to be done inside of our own family so that our family is flourishing and can be a place that shines a godly light that other people look at and say, wow, what's going on there? And that doesn't come from paying a lot of attention to the performance of our children. I've learned that if we can go for the heart of the child by respecting who they are as individuals and leading them like we know what we're doing, calm, cool, confident, collected, the whole time, even if in our minds we think, I don't know. My answer is I don't know. The answer to the child is go to your room and wait. Because leading a child will thrive inside of a leadership relationship with their parent where they know they can trust that their parent's making the best decision for them. Not haphazard decisions, not crazy decisions, the decision that treats that child the best. So before I got started on any videos about certain behavior or certain questions, because I get those a lot, I wanted to start with my perspective. So that is where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a perspective of this whole individual, no matter how many children you have, they will all be raised differently, a little bit, because they're all individuals and they all will respond differently. And I have 4 daughters. So even of the same gender, they respond differently. It's amazing and fascinating how God gives us the opportunity to know these souls. It's a beautiful thing. I think that's all I have to say about my perspective so that you can know where I'm coming from. I'm never coming from the place of you need to tell them like it is so they know like it is. Or you need to take them up by the arm and whoop their butt so that they know that you're in charge. You may need to tell them like it is. You may need to spank them. But the goal of telling them like it is or spanking them is to restore them back to who they are and what they're supposed to be doing. So I better go take care of a kid.